You can't hear much at first, just the crunch of boots on snow. The air is so cold it burns your throat. The city is wrapped in white, and yet, on the frozen streets of Yakutsk, people are shopping. No walls, no roof, no electricity. Just tables of frozen meat, fish, milk, all displayed under the open sky. Welcome to Siberia's open-air market, where freezers are unnecessary because the air itself does the job perfectly. This is Yakutia, the coldest inhabited region on Earth. Temperatures drop to minus 60 degrees Celsius, and here, refrigeration isn't an invention. It's a season. Everything, from reindeer meat to river fish, freezes solid within minutes. And that's how life works. At sunrise, when the light is still blue, traders arrive, their breath trailing behind them like smoke. They set up wooden stalls dusted with frost. There's no shouting, no chaos, only the steady rhythm of knives cutting through ice. On the counters lie slabs of meat so hard they could be carved into sculptures. You can see frozen cow tongues stacked neatly, whole fish gleaming like silver blades, and even blocks of milk frozen into shape, ready to be shaved, sliced, or boiled. But don't let the silence fool you. This is one of the liveliest places in Yakutsk. Buyers walk quickly, bundled in layers, scanning for the freshest catch. They tap the meat to check for cracks, listening to the sound like a jeweler testing stone. It is a dance between survival and tradition, one that has been happening here for generations. The cold is both enemy and ally. It kills, but it also preserves. It keeps food safe for months, no bacteria, no decay. In a strange way, the cold is the region's best chef. Take fish, for example. Locals eat it frozen raw, sliced into translucent ribbons, so thin they curl at the edges. It's called stradanina, and it's one of the most beloved dishes in Siberia. They dip it into salt and hot oil, and in the first bite, you taste everything. The sweetness of the Arctic, the salt of the river, the cold that never leaves. Next to the fish sellers are the hunters, offering reindeer, elk, even wild horse. The meat is frozen into slabs, sliced with axes, and sold by the kilo. There's no smell, no spoilage, just clean, frozen perfection. In the center of the market, a woman sells homemade dumplings, pelmeni. They're shaped at home, frozen instantly by the air, and packed into cloth bags. You can cook them weeks later, and they taste as if they were made yesterday. There are milk sellers too, but here, milk doesn't come in bottles. It's poured into bags or buckets and left outside overnight. By morning, it's a white brick, solid, sharp-edged, cold enough to hammer nails. They sell it by chopping off chunks, wrapped in paper like bars of soap. And then there are the berries. Bright red lingonberries, black crowberries, tiny golden cloudberries, frozen jewels against the white snow. In summer, families gather them by hand, storing them for winter. Now, they sell them in heaps that sparkle under the morning sun like bowls of gemstones. Everywhere you look, food becomes art, not cooked, not packaged, just preserved by the air. The market is both beautiful and brutal. For outsiders, it's shocking, but for the people of Siberia, it's normal. They've been doing this long before freezers or fridges were ever invented. You might wonder, how do they handle all this cold? How can someone stand outside for hours when frost forms even on their eyelashes? The answer is simple: layers of fur, constant motion, and hot tea. Every few minutes, traders pour steaming tea into tin cups. The heat hits the air, turns to mist, and vanishes instantly. Then they go back to work, laughing, chatting, living. Behind every stall is a story. That man selling frozen horse meat, his family has hunted for 4 generations. The woman cutting fish, her husband drives a truck across the Lena River, a river that freezes solid in winter and becomes a highway. The teenager weighing frozen berries, he'll save the money for a snowmobile, his way to reach school when the nearest road is 50 kilometers away. Life here isn't easy. But no one complains. The cold is not an obstacle. It's an identity. It's in their voice, their food, their humor. Yakut people often say, cold doesn't scare us. We are born from it. As the day ends, the sun dips below the horizon and the market glows in a haze of blue. The temperature drops again, maybe minus 55 now. The traders pack up their goods, but not to refrigerate them. They simply leave them outside. No locks, no fear. The air itself guards their food through the night. In most parts of the world, the cold means danger. Here, it means survival. It's the one thing that has always been free, fair, and reliable. And as you stand there, breath frozen, fingers numb, you can't help but feel awe, because this isn't just a market. It's a living museum of adaptation. A place where nature and humanity have made a quiet agreement. I'll freeze you, says the winter, but I'll keep you alive. And they do stay alive with dignity, resilience, and the most extraordinary food culture on Earth. This is Siberia's open-air market, where freezers are the sky, and survival still tastes like home. This is amazing food world.